All right.
Hey, we
It's
are
happening.
live.
We are live.
How's it going, Gary, my good man?
It is going well. I'm here in my office and excited because, hey, it's happening.
It is finally happening. This has been something that's been in the making
Oh,
for,
man.
I don't know. I don't even know.
You,
Has it been a year?
you
I don't
could
know how long.
probably, well, you could probably say 2 years if you think about it, because
Uh-huh.
I think the plan was there on our hearts when we first met at East Coast Wings that
Ah, yes.
early spring day, and
Hmm.
we talked about our jobs eventually, but we talked about movies at the beginning.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this
it
could
was,
be,
man. I know
yeah.
because we definitely hit it off on that point. That's when I knew I was like, I can work with this guy. He loves movies.
Same,
So,
same. Yep. And we remember the I put you through a very extenuous, is that a word?
it is now.
Questionnaire regarding some movies, some of your opinions on
Hmm.
movies, and
Right.
that was a beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yes, it
Um,
was.
so here we are, right here on YouTube. If you don't know, my name is Gary, and
Yeah.
he is Efren.
Yes. As it says in the bottom of our screens.
Oh, yes, it does. Yes.
So,
Um,
so yes, we are youth pastors.
we are.
So we are youth pastors of same church, different locations,
Yes.
and he is at our.
One church, two locations. I always get
That's
it
right.
wrong. Yeah.
There you go. So we are real youth pastors who just love movies, and we figured, hey, why not start a channel where these normal youth pastor guys talk about movies
Mhm.
and uh, and just realize everyone out there, we're not real critics.
No,
We just love movies. I know
we
you've
do.
heard it 1,000 times already, but that's what we're about.
Mhm.
And so that's what we want to do. We want to talk about movies. We'll review movies. We'll talk about upcoming movies and just fun stuff like that. Any other things that, like next week, we have something fun planned
Mhm.
that we think will be good and that you guys, the viewers, could also be a part of.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that's what we are
Yeah,
about.
we're looking at this kind of an outlet for us, because I think we've realized that no, I don't know if anyone, but very few people appreciate our passion for movies.
Mhm.
And honestly, other than Efren, I'm driving my coworkers around here crazy, because everything is a movie reference or TV reference, and I've
And
realized,
half
hey,
the
I
time
need an
they don't
outlet.
get it.
Yeah, and oh, there we go. um,
Boom.
so yeah, so here we are. It is happening.
Yes, and we are excited about it. And good old Cole here says movie debate.
Movie
Those will
debate.
come.
Those,
Those
yes,
will come.
yeah, we're gonna have to build up to that though. You
That's
know,
right.
don't think that would be a great first episode. And this is the premiere. Ow, I hit my knee. You know,
Attaboy.
um, pretty special moment here. Is
That's right.
we're premiering
So
here on YouTube.
yeah. So for you guys, so everyone can know, as we talk about reviewing movies and movies we enjoy and things like that, we were really hoping to try to be that everyman voice. Like we know there are real critics out there who have
Mhm.
channels and podcasts and stuff, and
Mhm.
they will break down movies, from artistic standpoint and like from actual like you know, obviously I don't know the proper lingo, but
Yeah,
proper as Gary said the other day, real film etiquette and
film
as things
etiquette.
should be.
Yes.
Yeah, so they'll break that stuff down, but we're just going to talk from it like just your everyday guy,
Mhm.
that's out there that we just thinking like, hey, this is what we think, and also we'll give you the view from pastors. We'll give you the
Mhm.
view as fathers. We're both fathers.
Yes.
I got 3 Rugrats, and Gary's
Okay.
got 2,
Two.
a third on the way.
No. No. Not that I know of.
No,
If
not that he knows of.
Megan might have some
Uh,
explaining to do, if so.
that's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
There's
you
Christy.
got
Hi,
people,
Christy.
yeah, Chrissy.
Hmm.
So you get that perspective, just
Hmm.
perspective just from a Christian in general.
Hmm.
One thing I did want to bring up is just know like there will be certain movies that we won't review because we're
Yeah.
just not going to watch them. Because again, we're
True.
Christians, we're pastors. We
Hmm.
truly believe in what Jesus said, where he's like the
Hmm.
eye is the gateway to the soul. So what
Absolutely.
we put in
Yeah.
is what's going to get into our hearts and our souls and our minds. So we're
Hmm.
real careful about what we watch. And
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
if you guys
Yeah.
ever have a suggestion where you're like, hey, watch this movie, we might be like, that's not one we're going
Yeah,
to
maybe
dive
not.
into.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I think you said the right word, careful. We're careful with what we watch.
Mm-hmm.
Very few things do I watch without, and I don't say this as like, judgmental or anything, but there's very few things that I watch blindly that doesn't go through the IMDb filter. And I have
Mm-hmm.
a few set things. If it has it in there, I'm more than likely not going to watch it. And that's just my personal preference because, like you said, I believe what Jesus said about that. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So.
Yeah. So we got to be careful about that stuff. So that's where we are. But also know we're not going to be the other extreme
No.
where we're going to make you feel guilty for like watching Shrek. So
Yeah.
like if you watch Shrek, we're not going
Yeah.
to say you're going to hell or anything. Like we're
Only
not going
Shrek
to
3.
go. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Mhm.
Shrek 3. It's probably
Mhm.
not needed to watch ever.
Yeah.
So just, if you happen to see it like us, leave it at once and just move
Yeah.
on.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so we're not gonna go that. We're like say we're gonna be that middle, that
Mhm.
middle
Middle ground.
ground of people, and just just try to give you the everyday man perspective.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
so you might
the
think,
the
whoa,
artistic reviewer, sorry,
no, go ahead.
the artistic critic, there's an audience out there for that. I appreciate what they do, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just not us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to sit here and ponder on film and discuss the deeper meaning to any and everything ever made. That's just not what we're going to do. So
Yeah,
we're just going to
but
talk about movies we like and why.
we may bring up Christian perspective, like things that we saw, like, that'd be a good like thing to pull out for the Christians.
Yes,
Like that could be something cool, but um,
absolutely.
but we'll have a lot of fun and stuff like that. So we're not going to
Hmm.
shy away from who we are and stuff. But hopefully, this is just a fun channel, and this is even something like if people aren't Christians, but they may not necessarily want to dive into the muck of a lot of things. Maybe we
Hmm.
can be that happy medium for them too.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
Ethan here says we should talk
Well,
about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2.
I think it's safe to say that's coming, sir. That will
That's right.
we
Don't you
will.
worry. We will. Once we get
Hmm.
closer to that, there will be
Hmm.
conversations.
There will
But
probably be an
personally,
episode just dedicated to masterpieces, and I guarantee you that will show up when we have that discussion.
absolutely. Absolutely. So that's kind of what we're about and what we want to do. Gary, if you have anything else you wanted to add?
I just thought we'd take a little bit of time. Efren, what was it that got you, like, started your love for movies?
All right. So we'll start on my love for movies. Actually, like I don't remember it. I'm just told this by
Hmm.
my parents,
Hmm.
and my parents kind of bring up like that. They say, "Hey, this is what we used to do." So back in the day, my parents when they first moved to the States, because my dad, my parents, we're from Puerto Rico. He got into the Navy, moved to the States, and what they did was when they had me, they just still wanted to go to movies to get out, but they didn't have babysitters or they didn't know a lot of people. So they said they just took me with them, and what they did is they just got me a big bag of popcorn, sat
Oh,
me right there, and just had me eat throughout whatever movie we were watching. And
nice.
so, of course, there aren't a lot of movies there that I remember at that time. I don't remember everything. I know there's certain movies that I watched that I still tell my parents, "Why did you let me watch that as a child?" Uh, we can get into that kind of stuff later,
Hmm.
but I guess just wanting to be in a movie theater, loving popcorn, and just being around it probably started there, and it was just built into my subconscious because ever since then, like I remember going to see like the original Ninja Turtles movie. I remember going to see Aladdin, Lion King. Like I remember always going to the movies, with my parents, later with friends and stuff like that. So that was something that we always like it was just part of my family's DNA. Like we went to movies. My parents bought VHSs, and
Hmm.
we had the VHS collection. So this is all stuff that really built up into it, and it really has a lot to do with my parents. Like they're the ones that started this fiasco, and and so they. But to this day, like my dad's here with us now. He's like, "Hey, what movie are we watching? Let's watch a movie." He wants to watch the same with my mom. Let's go to the movies, and they do it
Hmm.
also with my girls. And this is something we've been able to pass on. It's been a good family tradition for us to do.
Oh, right on, right on. That's really cool. I just picture you as a little kid just eating popcorn, watching I don't know, Gremlins or something. Yeah,
Yeah, probably that's probably
yeah,
one of them because I
that's
do remember
funny.
that movie and I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. It was similar with me. I don't remember when there was a moment where it was just like an aha moment, like, well, I like movies. They were always there. I remember as a kid watching the 1989's Batman and just watching the VHS tape over and over and over again. And my first movie in the theater, I remember some of it was Batman Returns. You know, say what you want about my parents, probably not the best movie for a kid. Speaking on that, but yeah, I remember that. And my Aunt Sherry, she would always take me to the movies when I would come visit. That's all we did, you know, and it was so much fun. I loved it. Loved the atmosphere of the movie theater, the smell, seeing the posters. Remember back in the day, you'd walk the lobby of a movie theater, and that's how you knew a movie was coming out, just by seeing the poster. Yeah. And then hopefully you'd see a trailer at some point at the theater. That was special times. And I remember, I remember going to see Mighty Ducks 2 in the theater, and that was such an epic feeling. You know, it was one of the coolest movies. And I don't know, just always loved them, and they were just kind of, you know, what I went to for comfort, or whatever you want to call it, an escape, I guess. But tell me if you did this, Efren. I always did this at movie stores. When you go and rent movies, my dad would go to the grocery store, and I would go into the movie store while he shopped. And sometimes I wouldn't even rent anything. Sometimes, you know, just wasn't allowed, I guess. But I would just walk the aisles and read movie boxes just constantly. You know, and I think I just remember that. That's kind of how I have all this useless knowledge, I guess, of movies, because I would just read the boxes. And probably it really annoyed the clerk a lot, because I would just ask questions and just stay in there, and sometimes not even rent anything. Looking back, it was probably annoying. But yeah, just kind of always been my thing. You know, my grandpa, he recorded movies on his VHS tapes from TV, and he had a massive collection of those. And
good.
Yeah, good. Would always collect VHSs. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Now Blockbuster, how we miss you.
Oh man, Blockbuster, Hollywood Video.
Oh wow. Yeah. There's this place that growing up was it was really close to our house. Like, come out of our neighborhood, and it's kind of right there, like next to Albertsons, if that tells you anything, how long ago this was. It was called Aardvark Video.
Aardvark Video?
Aardvark Video. Yeah.
Aardvark. Okay.
Yeah, and I loved it because you walked in. It felt like a old, like, just run down diner, kind of like long, kind of stuck in between two stores. And you go in there, but everything, even new releases, everything was $1 to rent for the weekend. Cool. So you go in Friday, and you have to bring it back Monday.
Sunday. Oh, Monday. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sunday. I think it was Sunday. So, like, you had to do it that way. But it was like that. They had old Nintendo video games with Super Nintendo that came out, Super Nintendo, Genesis, whatever. But they had it all, and you just go in there. But you had to like get in there early on Friday, because if not, whatever new release, forget it. Like, you didn't have it.
Oh yeah.
And so because they only had a few copies, but it was great. I remember that it was $1. So almost every Friday, we weren't at the movie theater. Like, all right, what movie are we renting?
Go see that. Yeah. I remember the stress at school on Fridays, trying to get to the movie store to get the new release, whatever it was, and just the stress all day, you know. And yeah, I remember some movie stores. It wasn't new releases, but you could rent 5 movies for $5. And nice. I remember doing that and just like spending the whole weekend. I had a routine. I'd go outside in the morning, or go outside in the afternoon, but watch a movie in the morning and watch a movie in the afternoon or at night. That was kind of my routine growing up. Yeah. Good times, man. I miss movie stores.
I know, right? Such good times. I mean, I know we have streaming and all that's nice, but just something
convenient.
About going. Yeah, it's like something about going to a movie theater or going to like those stores. It was just like, all right, let's go find out what we can get and rent and what's out there. What haven't we seen? And then of course, like Blockbuster, they have the line of snacks and candy to get you.
They knew what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. Apparently they lost it though, because obviously there's like maybe one left in the whole United States, which is sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah. So hey, there's a little bit about us. There's our history and of who we are and why we love movies and why we want to do all this. Yep. So
absolutely.
There you guys go, and I hope that as we continue talking, you guys just get to know us even more.
Yeah. Feel free to ask questions, in the comments. If your comment is deemed worthy, we will display it. And if it's, unless it's just an absolute ridiculous question, if it's a ridiculous question, we'll call you out on it. But
that's right. We still probably still display it and
and make fun of you.
Wow, that was weird.
That was weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So we do have some other stuff we want to talk about in our next part of our agenda here, which we are excited about.
Big topic today. Big topic.
Yes, very big topic. Do you want to lead into this, Gary?
Well, all right. I have to be very careful with this because Efren knows this, and the subject at hand today is the Justice League. Mainly the Snyder Cut of the Justice League. It broke last week that we are getting that. We are getting the Snyder Cut. There it is. Boom.
Boom.
One day last, and what I mean by having to be careful is when it comes to the DC EU and Zack Snyder's vision for these movies and Warner Brothers and Ben Affleck's Batman. We both can be known to go on rants, tangents, but we want to stay on point today. There will be other videos for that where we talk about all these movies as a whole, but today we're going to talk a little bit about the Justice League, the original cut, but mainly our thoughts and our excitement on the Snyder Cut. One day last week, I missed the announcement when this happened. I don't know what I was doing.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah. I was on Facebook or Twitter just scrolling, and I saw the Hollywood Reporter posted that it was happening, and I was like, well, that's actually a really reliable source. And then I saw HBO Max tweeted it out, and I was like, and that's what I thought is happening. And I texted you. I was like, it's happening. And you're like, yeah, where you been?
That's right.
You know?
Yeah. I remember I was like, yeah, the news dropped yesterday or 2 days ago. I was just waiting till I see you to talk about it.
Yeah. I was just like, wow. And just got really excited. And I'm pretty pumped for this. I really am. And I just want to first off say I do not hate the original, the cut of the Justice League we got. I have it here, Blu-ray. The issue is I like it, but I should love it.
Absolutely. It was very, like, I remember watching it and walking out and just thinking, like, it was fine. Like, it was okay. And this is something that drives me nuts because I'm like, wait a second, it's the Justice League.
It's just,
like probably, like, if it wasn't for the MCU, people know the Justice League way more than they know the Avengers.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I mean, now everyone knows the Avengers worldwide, but before the MCU, no one really knew who the Avengers were except for nerds. But like everyone knew who the Justice League was, you know, because they had the old Justice League animated series. It's which really like boosted a lot, it being out there a lot more. And they had like the second run of the Justice League animated series. They had the old Justice Friends. So so like people have known about these characters, and it was just like why isn't this an amazing movie?
Yeah,
like it was just okay. You can't have just okay.
No, you can't. And you have, arguably, do you get more iconic than Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman? I mean, that is,
they call it
exactly. They call it that for a reason. And the fact that you throw in Flash and Aquaman and Cyborg, I mean, it should have been mind blowing. And quite honestly, it was good, but it also was kind of a mess. Do you want to start speaking to that? Like why this movie was a mess? I mean, many people probably know, but it was.
Yeah, I feel like part of it was just because you could tell there was two directors. Like I almost felt like you could watch it and be like, okay, this is Snyder. Okay, here's Whedon. Okay, here's Snyder. Here's Whedon. And so like it just didn't have the same tone.
Took you out of the movie.
Yeah, it did. It took you out. Like you can tell like some of the jokes were thrown in there because it was Whedon, which is like I don't fault Whedon. He was asked to come in and finish a movie, and he did it his way. So like I don't have any problem with what he did. It's just it's almost like you should just let him do the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you at least have the same tone throughout the whole thing.
It's a mess because of that. It takes you out of the movie. It's, I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, okay, that's definitely Zack Snyder or that's Joss Whedon. And then you add the whole mustache situation.
Yes.
Of Henry Cavill's mustache. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really bad. But the biggest issue for me is I left the theater and I thought, okay, and I understand he had to step away, horrible, tragic situation for Zack Snyder. Something I pray, people never experience. But I knew leaving the theater, that was not the vision he started with Man of Steel.
That's right.
What he was trying to build up to, that's not what he got. And so that's when the whole release the Snyder Cut thing happened. And did you think this was an actual thing for a while? Like, did you ever? Because I thought it wasn't a real thing for a long time, up until
Well,
recently.
well, I always thought of it as like I guess like part of me did kind of think it was a real thing just because of BVS and
Hmm.
like, and as we say, the real edition.
The real edition, yes, absolutely.
So like, yeah, so for me, it's just kind of like, like there could be something to this, but the difference was reports I was hearing, from other people was that BVS, he actually finished the whole thing.
Hmm.
And then the studio stepped in later and said, cut this down. So then
Hmm.
he cut it down. So they could do that because it was already done. But what I was hearing for this, it's like, well, it's not, the CGI is not done, da 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 da.
Yeah.
But I heard everything that was supposed to be filmed was done. So I don't
Okay.
really know how much of that is still.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's something to work with because they're
Hmm.
doing it.
Absolutely. And I had heard that what needed to be done was going to cost Warner Brothers millions. And they've already apparently, I think they lost money on this. I'm pretty sure they did. Or it wasn't what they expected it to make. And so I thought, well, they'll never do it. And then I thought it was just some fan theory. But when I started to really think this might be a real thing that could happen is when Jason Momoa tweeted hashtag release the Snyder Cut, you know.
Right.
And I was just like, okay, this Aquaman himself is talking about it. Maybe this is a real thing. And and voila, we're getting it.
Yep.
We're good, bad, or indifferent. We're getting to see Zack Snyder's vision for this, and whether we come away not liking it or not, I'm just glad he's getting his opportunity.
Yeah. I know. Like it's definitely like when I look at it, I mean, like just look at that. Like it just
Yeah,
looks like Zack
yeah,
Snyder. Like, you have this kind of darker tone, darker feel.
hmm,
Batman looks like Batman. That was another thing I had. I'm like, when did
yes,
Batman get so jokey and like
yeah,
so like not needed? Like it was weird.
yep,
So hopefully we see more of what we saw in Batman vs Superman
hmm.
with that one what's it called, the warehouse scene.
Oh
And
yes. Or you know
so
what? If
like,
you want to take 4 hours and just play that scene on a loop, I'll watch it. I'll sit there. I mean,
I know.
just my favorite Batman scene of all time. But we'll talk about that in another video.
Sounds
Because
good. I can't use
if
it all.
I get started talking about Batfleck, we'll be here for 6 hours.
That's right.
Um,
That's right.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with it. Have they decided? I know it's supposed to be about 4 hours long.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I hear
And
that they might do like break it up into like pieces,
episodes.
which I hope they don't do because
Yeah,
it's a movie. Like just
it
play it. If it's
just
4 hours, fine. I'll pause it, go to
split.
the bathroom, and come back.
Yep, absolutely. And I will, and I don't understand the thought process, and I guess because studios have to think about money,
Right.
and I get that to an extent, but I think if you make a movie where enough people want to see it, it doesn't matter how long it is if it works well. You know,
That's right.
you could have walking into Avengers Endgame. If you'd have told me that was 6 hours long, I'm like, okay, you know,
Oh yeah.
let me call the sitter and let them know we're going to not be home till the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no problem with that. If it's something people love and are passionate about, and the story makes sense to be that long, let it be that long. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
um,
Here's another cool picture that I found out
yeah,
there.
look at that,
A cool little poster. Batman
epic.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my only thing that I was a little sad about is what that was like the HBO Max release.
Hmm.
But like like the stuff I'm hearing is, hey, like this is going just for HBO Max. There's no
Hmm.
intention, at least currently, to do
Hmm.
any like physical media,
Yeah.
um, and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like, man, like can we like so I don't know. I might have to be that one that like gets the free trial, watches
No.
it
Yeah.
as much as I can, and then just
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
I don't know. But that's just kind of that was the one thing I was like a little sad. But I get it. Like it's smart though. Like if you have this
Hmm.
huge fan base and
Yeah.
everyone's like, release the Snyder Cut, we want to see it. First
Hmm.
of all you fans, everyone, y'all better watch it. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely.
Find a way to
Absolutely.
watch it and support it because this is a huge win for fans.
Do not pirate this movie.
That's right. Do not.
And I think that should be said for anything. I don't want to get on a tangent about that, but this specifically, people have been begging for this for years. Okay,
Mhm.
if you want things like this to keep happening, I think Dan Murrell was talking about it. Watch it so this can keep happening. And as much as I really wish this was going to be released on physical media to put it next to this, I think that's part of the reason why they're doing it because they can stream it and not spend the money on making
Right.
disc and stuff like that.
Especially because they're supposed to be spending like up to 30 million or something
Yeah, yeah.
for it.
So
So,
yeah.
but in talking about like the differences, like from the last one and stuff, here we got Youth Leader Brock. He said he thought he needed more build up and villain character development.
I'll agree
Which
with that.
absolutely, like, yeah,
Yeah.
it did need more build up, like shoehorning in there, like Flash
Hmm.
and even Aquaman. I know
Hmm.
we had to snip it in BBS, but it wasn't like, I mean, yeah, I guess you can assume pretty much everyone knew the characters, but
Hmm.
people didn't really like, and not these version of the characters. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then the villain, like, absolutely, like if you didn't already know who Steppenwolf was, you were
I mean,
completely lost.
oh, absolutely. And I didn't know much about him. I knew a little bit, but even then, I was just like, okay, what is he doing? Why is he mad? You know,
Hmm.
he reminded me of a Power Rangers villain from like the one of their movies.
Yes.
And I just didn't quite understand it. But yeah, I agree with that definitely, and I'm pretty sure, hopefully, with with this Snyder cut, we'll see more of Cyborg's development and Flash. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, because it seems like from the trailer they had
Mhm,
the backstory for Cyborg, and they
mhm,
were going to do a little bit more with Aquaman and stuff.
mhm,
Which again, if it was going to be like a 4-hour movie, then fine. You guys, you have the time to
mhm.
kind of do that. But definitely, what we got was not what was needed,
That is
and
not
that's
enough.
why like the MCU was great because they took their time
Mhm,
building up to Avengers. They teased it, but it was like,
mhm,
we're gonna have these characters in here first. If for the exception of like Hawkeye and Black Widow, they were in
mhm.
other people's movies, but that's kind of all you really needed out of
But
those
you
characters.
knew him. And I
Yeah.
think that's what made the Avengers so great was, and I don't want to get on a tangent there, but when that movie finally came out, you knew all those characters individually
Hmm.
so well that you knew, and it just made the movie so much better because they built up to it. And we can talk about DCEU versus Marvel later because
Yeah.
that'll be a very passionate episode. Why
Yeah.
How Marvel did it correctly in DC,
Yeah.
just
And this is coming from two guys who love both. Like, we're not
absolutely.
DC fanboys or just Marvel
Hmm.
fanboys. Yeah, we have our preference. I mean, I'm more preference to the side of Marvel, but
Hmm.
Gary's more, I know, DC.
I
But
just
like, we still
love
love both.
Batman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we love that.
absolutely.
Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, because honestly, like, yeah, I grew up watching the old Spider-Man cartoons and X-Men and
Hmm.
stuff, but I was also watching Batman, Superman, Justice.
Hmm.
So like,
Hmm. Yeah.
you're not going to get this is better than that. We're going to get, this is where these people did right and these people
Hmm.
didn't.
Absolutely, absolutely. And some of the Marvel movies are some of my favorite movies of all time. Endgame is, I can't get enough of that movie. I put
Mhm.
it on in the house in the background and just I'm obsessed with that movie. To be
Yeah,
honest with you, you know.
yeah.
But,
So,
but yeah,
so we're.
I'm excited about this though. I really am. I'm glad we're getting it.
Mhm.
And I will be pricing out HBO Max, and I've already told the wife that we'll be either free trialing it or subscribing. Um,
That's right.
just so.
Yep.
Uh,
I
we'll
just know
be
I can't afford another subscription. So
Yeah, they start to add up, don't they? It's
they
like,
really do.
you
At
cut
that point, it's
cable
like,
and then it's like, we'll get this and this. Next thing you know, oh man, there's this. And next thing you know, if you're spending more on subscriptions than you were on DirecTV.
yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm just like, maybe a free trial and just try to binge it as much as I can,
Hmm.
and then hope
Yeah.
that maybe it gets enough views that Warner Brothers would be like, maybe we'll put out some physical media.
There we go. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, maybe not
Yeah.
make a whole bunch like you'd normally do, but maybe do like a limited release or something.
Just set up a TV in our houses, like on the side, that just plays it like for a week straight,
That's right.
just over and over again on a loop. Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's gonna be good. Are you so what I'm really hoping for in this movie too is are we getting villain Superman?
I hope
You
so. I mean, that was
think?
part of the whole thing. Like, Black Suit
Yeah,
Superman,
black
he
suit
becomes
Superman.
more
That
of a
would have
villain,
been.
and then also Darkseid was supposed to be in
Yeah,
this.
they
So,
released an image of him today or yesterday of
oh, they
Darkseid.
did.
Hmm.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I think it was on Twitter somewhere.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but that looks pretty cool. But I was thinking, man, black suit Superman. That would have been the whole movie. Them, trying to convince him to turn back. That would have been
Yeah,
cool.
for
But
real. He didn't even need
you know,
Steppenwolf for most of it.
hmm
But
yeah.
yeah,
So
so that's
so
where we
we'll
are.
see. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll talk more about that for sure as it gets closer and news comes out about it.
that's right.
'Cause,
It is slated for 2021, but we'll
2021.
uh, we'll
There
get
we
out there
go.
and watch. And And then, of course, we'll watch it somehow, and whether it's
Mhm.
free trial or not, and we'll be back on here talking about our thoughts when that happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's
So,
gonna be exciting.
all right,
So
Gary, do you want to go into our last subject for the day?
absolutely, which is I don't know about you, Efren, but this is my most excited movie of the year. Top Gun 2.
What?
Yeah.
What are you doing to
I'm
me?
excited for Top Gun 2. I don't think Efren is, but no, my most excited for movie of the year is Tenet.
Yeah.
Cannot wait for this movie. That trailer we got last week, it amped me up. It like revived my excitement for movies for this summer.
Mhm.
Because with all the the Corona situation and all that, it's kind of like, are we
Right.
getting movies? But I saw that trailer and I was like, all right, here we go.
Heck yeah. Like when the first trailer came out, it was like, I have no idea what's going on, but it's Christopher Nolan, so I'm in. And the
Yeah,
second trailer came out, and it's like, this looks really awesome. Still have no idea
still
what's
no
going
idea
on,
what's going on. Yeah,
but
yeah,
I can't wait to
absolutely.
see it. And I love how he's like, because Christopher Nolan, he's always been a huge like, you must go to a movie theater to really
Hmm.
experience movies. He's a
Hmm.
huge fan of that and supporter of it. So the fact that at the end of the second trailer, it's like
Yes,
coming to the movie theaters, like it's
yes, yeah, and it was bold and like right there in your face. He was just for
yeah,
sure, and he
only
was
in theaters. I think is what
specific. It was going to be July. He's not moving it. You know,
July
um,
17th.
yes, July 17th, which Efren and I are already making plans to go see it that Thursday night when it opens.
That's right.
Maybe the only one's there, which is fine. But you know,
Yeah.
so Inception is one of my favorite movies of all time. And this gives me an Inception vibe because even with that, when that trailer came out, I had no idea what it was about. But same thing,
Right.
Christopher Nolan, I'm in, and
Yeah.
just this looks incredible. you know,
Right. I will say, funny story for when I first saw the trailer for Inception, when that came out, I love the movie, but like when
Mhm.
that came out, I was like, what is he doing? He has Batman to finish. Like, I was like,
Yeah,
what are you doing
that's
doing
true.
other
That is true. Can we focus on that?
things?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, because that
But
came out
like
what 2010, 2011.
something
Yeah,
like that,
2000.
yeah.
It was 2010. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
but I was but of course I was there and I was excited. And this has like that Inception feel
it
to
does.
it. Like there's something going on with time
Hmm.
manipulation or something. That's just all I can gather. So
Yeah.
there's obviously going to be some like stuff in here where it's just like, all right, like something weird's going on, but it looks really awesome. It looks
Yes.
pretty cool. Christopher Nolan's a great storyteller. If you've seen any of his other movies,
Hmm.
like I mean, like I was actually talking to some former students, and they were saying how they saw Prestige like for the first time recently, and I was
Wow.
like, and they're like, how is that movie not more talked about? And I'm like, because no one knows about it for some reason.
Yeah.
And
If that movie would have came out after Dark Knight, I think
mhm,
more people would know about it. More people would talk about it. But it was,
yeah,
and it's kind of surprising that more people don't talk about it because of the cast. You know,
right,
Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale. You know,
yeah.
just an
What's his name? Michael
amazing
Caine.
Michael
He's in it too.
Caine.
Yeah, like
David Bowie is in the movie as well,
that's
randomly in the
good.
movie. But
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan, an amazing storyteller. Uh, Probably my favorite director today, other than Spielberg. Um,
Mhm.
you know, but I can't wait. He's one of the guys. I think everybody that loves movies, we all have those directors that we wait for their movies. Spielberg's always been that for me. Christopher Nolan is that as well.
Yeah, he's
Don't
just
love
so
all
good.
his movies, but majority of them I do.
Yeah. They're like even if you don't like care for the movie itself, you at least appreciate like what he's trying to do and
Hmm.
like the cinematography and stuff like that. Like just like he always pushes the envelope. And that's
Hmm.
what I like. Like he always tries new things. But
Absolutely.
that's part of his love for movies itself. Like
Hmm.
he's a director, he's
Hmm.
making these movies, he wants to do that. So all right, like this is what he's really
Yeah.
pushing for. And this just looks phenomenal. Like I said, and I'm glad that he's like, I want Tenet to welcome people back to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Absolutely.
thank you, because
Yep.
I can't wait to be there.
Yep. I can't wait. Yeah. It's going to be welcoming me back for sure because um, very excited about this movie. And and another thing about Christopher Nolan is, and this proves it even more, he's very serious about what he does. He
Hmm.
takes it seriously. He doesn't let a studio mess around with it. He's very serious about what the vision he has and the story he's trying to tell, and I appreciate that. You know,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
people like him and Spielberg. You know, They, yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, it's really good. And this, like the second trailer, just hyped me up even more. I'm so, like I said, I was already ready for it,
Mhm.
but now, of course, with everything, even more ready for it. Glad this is what's going to come in.
Yeah.
To really welcome once theaters open back up. Hopefully,
Mhm.
hopefully by this time they can open up full force. I know
Yeah.
some theaters are starting to open up at 50%. Some are, some aren't, but hopefully
Mhm.
by then
No,
we're
absolutely.
good to go and be back in there.
So Youth Leader Brock says he's about to watch the trailer after our live stream.
Excellent.
And if you haven't seen the Tenet trailer, if you have no idea what we're talking about, check it out
Yes.
after we're done here. And if you have a way
Yeah,
to
there it is.
stream it on a TV, I suggest doing it there.
Yeah.
Stream it any way you can because it's just it looks really cool.
Yeah. It looks awesome. And I think Youth Leader Brock, you'll probably, and once you watch it, you'll probably be like, oh yeah, this looks great. Especially if you're a Christopher Nolan fan, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is just more goodness from him. And also, I think this is also for me because I haven't seen him in anything, regrettably, aside of Twilight.
I know
So
where you're
I have
going
no
with
idea. Yeah, I have no idea what his acting range is. But since he is our new Batman,
it. Oh,
but you know what? I had no faith in Heath Ledger as Joker,
yeah,
but I had faith in Christopher Nolan, and look what we got. So maybe if
yeah,
he has him in this movie, maybe he is a true good actor and he'll make a good Batman, which will obviously that'll be another discussion for another day, but just a thought.
absolutely. This, Efren, you know my views. You know my thoughts.
Oh,
I
here we
won't
go.
get into it. I won't. I won't get into it. But you are right. Seeing him in this trailer made me feel a little bit better. But yeah, I haven't seen a lot of them. I never saw Twilight. Um, and I saw him in the Harry Potter movie he's in. Thought he's pretty good in that. But
Oh, that's right.
I never saw any of these indie movies he did or anything like that. So we'll see. We'll see when it comes to Sir Pattinson.
Okay, come July. Well, that's July 16th, technically, when we'll go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We'll see how he does. The trailer, he looked pretty good.
He
We'll
did.
see how he does.
He did. So he's not Affleck, but we'll see. Sorry.
Yeah, and he's not working out. So there's that too.
I did see that. I did see that. I was like, okay.
That's why he's like, I'm not going to work out for Batman. I'm like,
We're not.
have you not seen the animated series?
I mean, so we're not going to get the CrossFit Pattinson scenes like we got. I was like,
Oh no, come on, man.
It's like, dude, come on. That motivated me to do push-ups.
And then we stopped.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I like pizza more. So
this is true. Maybe we should be Ninja Turtles instead.
There we go.
As much as we love pizza, apparently it works for them.
It does. It does. Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, but yeah, so hopefully it's everything that it's hyped up to be. Because I'm not going to lie, like Dunkirk looked good. I personally was let down a little bit by Dunkirk, but
I didn't see it.
I thought it was. I mean, it was great the way it was made, but I personally didn't care for it. So I'm hoping Tenet doesn't do that for me.
I didn't see Dunkirk. I plan to go see it, but I talked to a lot of people that didn't like it, and I want to still go see it. Just never got around to it. I still want to check it out because it's an interesting. I love that story, and I'm a sucker for war movies anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like Interstellar.
Oh yeah, I didn't care for that.
So that's probably. So there are a few things from Nolan that I didn't care for, and Interstellar is one of them. But everything else, pretty great.
Yeah. Yep. So. And so that's all we have for you guys today. We are
pretty much one last thing though.
Yes.
One last thing, real quick. I'm also excited to hear James Mangold is going to be directing Indiana Jones 5.
Yes.
That was announced yesterday. So yeah, one of my favorite characters of all time. Teamed up with one of my favorite directors working today, James Mangold of Ford versus Ferrari and all those other,
Now, will they actually continue the story, or will they pretend Kingdom of the Crystal Skull never existed?
That we will wait and see. We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
But I was pretty excited to see that news. So
I just wanted to tell all you guys out there, thanks so much for watching our pilot episode.
Absolutely.
We're very excited to be doing this. A little nerve-wracking, but I think we did pretty good. But thanks for being part. Thanks for chatting with us.
Yeah.
As you guys can see, as you chat, we can bring it up, see you on there. And there's actually a feature where we could send you guys a link and bring you on live with us when we're able to do that. We'll announce that ahead of time. but just know you're going to get the best from us, the best we can, as we, juggle youth ministry and doing this channel. But we're going to do the best, because as I told Gary before this started, I'm old now. My back gets thrown out for no reason, so I can't play sports anymore like I love to do. So all my passion and focus can be on this. So
yeah, pretty much the same. We're both on the back nine. I can play sports a little bit, but I do got the back pain as well, and I also have a pizza addiction that
stuffed crust pizza, man.
Yeah.
Gets you every time.
So that keeps me from playing sports quite a bit as well. So we're excited about doing this, and be on the lookout for an episode next week. We will be talking about our top 10 movies from the previous decade.
Yes.
And,
so that'll probably get a little bit of a not heated, passionate. That's the word we're always going
for.
Passionate debate.
Passionate, not heated.
Some passionate debating, because I'm sure there'll be things on my list that I'm like, Gary, why isn't it on yours? And vice versa.
Right.
So you'll probably have a good laugh next week. We're going live on Monday, right? Is that what we said?
Monday. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go live on Monday. I'm sure you guys will have a laugh at us, because we love each other. We're great friends. But at the same time, we will look at each other and be like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. We have no problem doing that. Yeah.
That's right.
So
cool. And if you want in, hey, go ahead and make your top 10 list.
Yeah, we'll post
it
in
the comments with us. We'll post it on there. Or you can even email us at therealpastors.com or .com. therealpastors@gmail.com.
Oh.
therealpastors@gmail.com. There we go.
Gmail.
You can email us your list, and then maybe we can just bring up your list and show it on here like we showed other pictures like Tenet and stuff like that. We can talk about your list as well.
And hey, we'll make fun of you too.
Absolutely. Welcome to the fellowship of this ridiculous way.
Yes, absolutely. So feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the alert button, and if you feel, hey, share this video.
That's right. Let everyone know that this video and our channel will be for them if they just want that everyman perspective. If they want to hear what a pastor has to say, what does a dad, Christian, whatever floats their fancy on what they want. Hopefully, we have everything they need.
Absolutely.
So keep sharing it. Thank you so much, guys, for being with us. Gary, anything else?
Nope. This was fun. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. See you guys next week.
Later.